So when I say that when I draw a very tight channel, it does not last a long time, this is what happened. It just caved in. But now that we have the cave in and we seem to have a little bit of a bounce, then we can draw a more longer term channel. So we should be going like this. But then if it breaks our support, then we need to readjust. We can say that Tesla is weakening a little bit. Not everything is lost yet. We are still able to maintain 240.89. 240.89 was our buy signal, our technical buy signal, and we have broken it last Friday and we are still maintaining ourselves above it. Yes, it would have been great if we would have kept going and going, but this is not how things work all the time. This is a great example here. Thursday, July 21st, 2022. We had the same setup. We had pretty much the same setup. We had a downward resistance that we broke, a diagonal downward resistance. Then we started making a horizontal resistance, and then we had to wait until it was broken with a good stochastic. And then when this happened, it happened right here. We had the big candle, super great candle. So this was our buy signal. The buy signal was a big green candle, and of course, if we buy at the end of the day, that's the proper way of doing it because the candle has finished. But on the other hand, we are a little bit high because if we buy right here, our stop loss is just right below here. That's a pretty big level. So you have a couple of choices. You can get in at this point, but then check it very close and get out if it comes back around. Or you can just wait and hope that it just won't continue. Tesla can continue. Tesla can continue and wait for a pullback and a rebound. So this is what happened here. This is what happened here. We had a big green candle, and in this case, we had a move down right here. We had a move down for a couple of days, and then we started shooting up. What we had last Friday was a little bit stronger. We had this big green candle, and then we stayed for a couple of days. So this was better than just a big candle, and then we are coming back down. We stayed for a couple of days, but then we got a little bit of bad news in the market, and then things started to come back down, but then it picked back up and it's been zigzagging ever since. Not everything is lost. If we break 240.89, then I will throw the towel. But until then, we can say two things. We can say that the sellers are pushing down, but we can also say that the buyers are putting the stock back up, but just not as high as the previous day. So this is why we are into this downward resistance. This is a wedge, this is a decreasing triangle, and Tesla is going to have to make a decision at some point. It could zigzag for still a couple of days until buyers get a little bit more courageous to stop pushing the stock back up, or they get a little bit more scared and they just give up to 40.89. This is what we do on this channel. We are watching the tug of war between the buyers and sellers. And when we see that there's a significant gain on either side, then we decide to take position. So Tesla is down 43 cents, 0.17%, closed at 251.49. Post-market, we seem to be down by 80 cents. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart to understand how things happened today. So we opened lower today, opened at 245, and we had basically an undecided but a little bit bearish candle because we have a longer wick at the top and the body of the candle is towards the bottom. And then we started to go up, boom. So these are the buyers that are coming in. But then when we are getting close intraday to 252.33, this is more information than what we have on the daily chart. At 252.33, then we have an exhaustion. The buyers are not coming in that much, and the sellers are happy to sell, and we cannot break 252.33. So if you play on the 1 hour chart, check 252.33. This is an important number. In terms of indicators, so on the 1 hour chart, we don't have stochastic, we don't have the MACD crossover, we barely have RSI, and we don't have the MI. Short term, there's not really any move on the 1 hour chart. There's not really a bullish move on the 1 hour chart. But it could happen tomorrow, but it's just not there yet. If we come back to the daily chart, let's look at our indicators. So we have stochastic at 80. This is still good. A good stochastic is good. a stock tends to drop when it gets close to a horizontal support, and that we lose stochastic. This is when we need to be very careful, if not get out, but sometimes it picks back up. But this is a weakening. We can see it everywhere. We can see it also in January of 2021. Tesla was in this congestion zone. It was just going sideways, and then look at how stochastic started to cave in. Stochastic has started to cave in a couple of days before we really had the move down. Right now, stochastic is not caving in yet. It could cave in, but it has not caved in yet. There's still hope. And in terms of our other indicators, MACD still crossed over. We have the RSI above 50, and the MI is still waiting to cross. And then the MI is still bearish. Let's take a look at some Tesla news. So Tesla finally adds a blind spot indicator to the Model 3 Highland. We had a refresh of the Model 3 in China. This is a feature that brings up a view of the side camera whenever a driver uses the turn signal, allowing the driver to see what's there, and shows a visualization of the area around the car and the other vehicles in the area. And it also has a blind spot indicator here, a little light telling you if there's somebody right next to you. Also, Tesla secures a deal to deploy 20,000 universal wall connectors at Hilton hotels. And this will be deployed at 2,000 Hilton hotel locations. That's 10 per hotel location. I think this is fantastic. Hilton is a luxury hotel. It's a good pairing with Tesla. And since pretty much all of the automakers are going to use Tesla standard, I think it makes sense. We are going to see those Tesla destination chargers everywhere. This is another announcement about that. Honda announces deal with Tesla to adopt NACS connector. Boom. This is not so good of a news. Tesla Gigafactory Mexico might be coming online way later than expected. And this is just a reminder that Shanghai's timeline of 9 months between breaking ground and production is really something impressive. But one Chinese supplier source said that they were recently told to wait on their plan to set up supporting production in Mexico. So 2-3 months ago, there was a lot of rush, lots of pressure to look for a location, but 1 month later, they told us to wait. Suppliers have been told to wait a little bit. It could be a little bit more difficult for Mexico. So I don't think it's too bad, because with Texas and Berlin, they are going to have a couple of years, I'm assuming, in order to ramp fully. But still, it would have been nice to get going with Mexico. Tesla announces production of 2 millionth EV at Gigafactory Shanghai. So that's pretty big, 2 million cars overall. Let's look at the VIX, if it impacted the Tesla today. Tesla is down 4 cents, 14.40. So VIX is still inching higher and higher. It goes up in the morning. It's super high in the morning, and then it cools down during the day. This is showing us what's happening with Tesla. It just went down in the morning and picked back up. But we still have this overall trend. This is going up as a trend. This is not good for the stock market as a whole. We have a little bit of caving in terms of the treasury bonds, so this is helpful for us. Rivian opened pretty much where it opened yesterday, but still cannot break 23.59. Closed up 16 cents, 0.69%, closed at 23.49. So you know this 23.59 is an important number. And when you have important numbers like this, when a stock tries to break it, and does not succeed, and when it's going to finally succeed, then it means that there's a step change in the market. And people like me are using those step changes in the market to get in. Xpeng broke 18.12. We are down $1.49, 7.86%. That's a lot. Closed at 17.46. So last 18.12, we had been in that congestion zone for 7 days straight, and now we are losing stochastic and losing that. We still have our bullish channel right here. The big question is it going to be enough to hold Xpeng? NIO, another break here, another break of support. The EV stocks are going down. So we are down 50 cents, 4.73%. Closed at 10.08. And stochastic is not there. I'm less surprised right here. We had stochastic here. This is a little bit more surprising. VinFast down 26%, $6.51, closed at $17.99. I'm just beating myself for not shorting that one. And now the great companies. Palantir just going sideways, nothing to see here. Stochastic is climbing a little bit. So maybe we are going to have a move above $16 eventually. Nvidia, we are back into this original congestion zone that we had since mid-July. We tried to break outside of it, but we were not strong enough. So when this happens, you get in right here. You get in right here, and then you get out right there. Minimal pain, minimal cost. Let's look at our indices. So Q down 0.72. We are coming back into our downward resistance. Our downward channel just broke our bullish channel. Broke our bullish channel that we had for, wow, look at this. That we had since January. That's significant. Dow Jones had already started to go down a little bit faster. We still are below this downward resistance right here. So if I do the proper channel, this is what this would look like. Yes, it's up. It's up. If you look at it, we made a lower high. So we made a lower high. So you know it's not all green. SPX is barely outside its downward channel. It's getting very close to it. We have lost 44.54 and we have lost stochastic. So maybe things are going to turn around. Nasdaq is rebounding here. It's rebounding on its downward. It's still a downward channel, but at least it's rebounding on it. We are down 0.89%. Let's see if it's really a rebound or just a bounce. Gold is just going sideways. It's just going sideways, and because we had a fail of this bullish channel right here, we could do a new bullish channel right here. I'm going to remove the first one. We don't really need it anymore. This looks like something like this. This is the official channel, but sometimes it does not go as far. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this double resistance thing so that you can see what is happening right now. So when I say that when I draw a very tight channel, it does not last a long time, this is what happened. It just caved in. But now that we have the cave in and we seem to have a little bit of a bounce, then we can draw a more longer term channel. So we should be going like this. But then if it breaks our support, then we need to readjust. Silver heading back down to 770, so we are down 0.63%. Bitcoin, a little bit of a blimp, up 73%, but still in the congestion zone. This is just noise. And the Ripple is hanging in there. This is just noise. US dollar climbing and climbing, up 0.22%. And our Neo battery material, we have stochastic over 60, so maybe we are going to get another move. Let me just prepare for this. Maybe this is what is happening with it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.